Qué alegría volvernos a encontrar con Gabriela Montandón. La conocimos hace 4 años, es una genia. Ella es Fermentis Academy Sensorial Analysis Manager. Ella es la encargada de todos los paneles sensoriales en Fermentis. Hola Gabriela. Hi Gabriela.
Hi, hola, ¿qué tal? Solamente portuñol o inglés.
Exactamente. Bien, good for you. Okay, first, I love your new place because I interview in another building, but this is incredible. When Stefan, we saw the tables, the cabins, I don't know, the box, and first you must tell about this space and what happened here.
Sure. So, in a sensory analysis place like this one, we want to have the most neutral environment possible. We know the moment we are tasting beers in a bar or we are tasting beers at home, you have the environment that can affect the way you perceive things. Even if you are listening different types of music, you can change your opinion about what you are drinking. So this is exactly how it should be. It's a very spacious, very fresh, with controlled temperature. Everything is white, that nothing really call your attention unless the flavors you are feeling inside. And what we do here, so we are having nearly every day of the week running different panels that help us to describe differences existing in our products and the products in interactions with process or ingredients. So we are most of the time evaluating in a very blinded form the impact of changes in which the tasters are not aware what is going on in the beer.
In the first, you see all the faces with the people to present, supposed to talk about the things, but suddenly we start in complete silence and in a box.
Correct. First, indeed, these sensory booths, normally it's first for giving some instructions, like you will be presented to a set of samples. You will be evaluating only olfactory or only gustatory. So we do let's say, the minimum instructions for the panelists. And we assure after that, or when we are in training modus, where we want to generate consensus between the panelists, we are letting them talk to one another. But the moment of the evaluation and the repetitions of those evaluations, every single panelist is closed in their small world with the beers, and they will evaluate like, oh, we're having. Here we are still working with transparent glasses, but we work also with black glasses to cover everything that you have no clue about what you are tasting, but only your feelings are in the game.
Why 17? It's a casual number or?
It's true. It's like it could be 20 or could be 15, but most is with the space we have, and most of the time we can reach in a panel, in expert panels. We are quite happy to have more than 10, 12, 15, and 17 people. We want to add the more we can inside this room, but we really favor this format. In EEUU format, because we could not only do the sensory analysis sessions that we do, but in this room we also work in educating and sharing our knowledge with clients, with our distributors, with people that are willing to know our world. We also use this room for exchanging. So the more we can put inside to profit this incredible place, the better.
How many tasting do in one day, for example, or I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, stay together?
So it's a very interesting question, because most of the time you have the tasting we could do in some competitions, for example, that you are doing dozens of samples per day, but which your performance is not really accessed, but rather your experience about some beer style. What we do here, it's quite the opposite way, in a certain way. We want the panelists to be very much trained and focused on specific things, so we normally don't work with sessions that are over 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, every day at the same time too. So we do most of the time an hour. Not all the panelists are coming every day, so there's different people.
But yes.
Yeah, sometimes, luckily I have a team that I can rely on. But it's true that we also favor the best time of the human being body senses, let's say. Because you won't have the same opinion of a beer, may not have the same potential of your sensibility before you eat or after you eat, for example. And one of the most interesting moments to do sensory analysis is before a big meal, so before the lunchtime. So
This is the time.
This is mostly, it's being demonstrated in several ways that we as human beings, we have a sort of waves, and those waves, we can use them, and we target the most efficient timing of the day, and training and sensory, it's all about habits. It's like sleeping habit or a diet habit, exercise habit. You need to get used to get your body into that habit. So is that what we want for our panelists?
Okay, we have 4 examples. First, you can explain again which kind of tasting do now here, because now you have a factory incredible, and I suppose, Gabriela, 4 years ago, I tried to make different examples or samples, but now you can do, I suppose, everything.
Sky's the limit, nor the sky, correct? Now it's true that now we are very proud of this. This is all the evolution of Fermentis and of course the vision of understanding that in sensory wise we rely also in taste and pleasure. We want to have interesting beers, and therefore having on site the sensory capabilities and also brewing capabilities, we can go much further than we could in the past, although we have been working with very nice partners. But it's true, in a weekly base, we are working most of the time understanding our products, how they are, or understanding how our products behave when interacting with raw materials. So how our yeast are interacting in flavor-wise when we are adding different hops or malts to the game, and how our products are interacting when we change process. So we are kind of evaluating all possible nuances in the very end, that we give this message to the brewers, that they are able to master our products and to use their creativity for printing the beers with flavors that they want. Not only from the ingredients, let's say the malt and hops, but considering the yeast as a key factor of delivering the flavors we want in our beer.
What are those babies?
Those babies without alcohol, because the world is asking for understanding about flavors and how to improve the flavor quality of non-alcoholic beers, in which became a very hot topic in the brewing world for several reasons. But non-alcoholic beers is yet very new, and it's another matrix. The non-alcoholic beer is by definition, completely different beer. It's very different from the beer we were used to, with alcohol and with sugars that were consumed. And non-alcoholic beers, with the demand of the market, what we have, most of the time people are not having too much pleasure drinking non-alcoholic beers. It can be for a couple of reasons, but we also believe we can help on that improvement on understanding how to do non-alcoholic beers, changing in the fermentation side, not necessarily purifying the beer and putting away the alcohol, but how to make interesting non-alcoholic beers by using fermentation as the main tool.